bisschen alter.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Oh, that's fine.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today.
Great start.
Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee, and it's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Getting set now over the putt. That is a solid par putt. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. Couple of red numbers already on the scorecard. Could not ask for a better start to the...
He's gone for a little extra. Whoa, that is long. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Little uphill to this green, Frank.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Boy, he really moved that one. 320 yards and in the fairway. Frank, what's it going to take here on this approach at the par 5?
Well, some people might actually try and bounce it in between those two bunkers and run the ball up on the green, but personally, I'd try and actually take a hybrid or something with a little bit more loft and try and fly the ball. Take those two bunkers out of play.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Just 5 feet left. Frank, you had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard. What that would have meant to him.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday and trying for another one today. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the Billy Goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes once again are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole too, and a fun hole to play.
Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and it's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up, just past those those bunkers on the right and the left, get it down there on the flat. A little pitch, you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat line, and it's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of the screen makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss the screen, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
That is here all a lot.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Well, that certainly puts a different color on the round. Great birdie. Could not have come at a better time.
Starting to battle back. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
There's the approach shot starting to find the rhythm now after that balky beginning.
Yeah, good opportunity here. Flag very much one you can aim at, and especially as they're starting to play well.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Start of the back 9 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th.
It looks intimidating off the back of this tee, Rich, and that's because the desert ridge on that right side, it sort of blocks your view and you don't see the right side of this fairway. Once you realize there's a lot more room to the right, then that tee shot becomes a little bit easier. Now also the angle of this green, you're going to see it sort of turn to the right there. So you've really got to be careful on where the flag is positioned on this green. If they put the flag back right, then obviously that's the hardest this hole's going to play. Flag sort of left of center, then this still could very much be a birdie hole. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Comfortably knocks it in.
On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. You look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That is how you jumpstart a round with an eagle. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
Swag it out, we're down the fairway.
That green is tucked back in the corner, Frank, here at the 13th. What's the right way to get at it?
Well, if you haven't tried to drive this green over the canyon, it's a relatively straightforward pitch up the hill. And up the hill means you've got a little bit of a backstop, so you can be very aggressive with a second shot.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Just a couple of feet. Good putt. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards. What a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
The approach here at 14, what do you like, Frank?
Well, it's a dogleg right to left, and the green is also shaped that way, Rich, so it suits a draw off the tee, and it's going to suit a draw coming in. And that draw you're going to get by virtue of the fairway that slopes from right to left, which encourages that shape of shot. And you should be able to use the natural contours of this green. You work it out, you're going to be rewarded.
Good chance here. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Just a case of the hole shooting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Trying to make yet another birdie. Oh, I thought he had that.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
Settles in over the putt.
Oh, another one goes in.
Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here, and it should set up nicely for a birdie.
That's a nice approach shot. It's about 15 feet away. A good chance for a birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Bang, right in the back of the cup, Frank.
Unbelievable.
So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek. He's gone for a little extra.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more
400
good
yards.
swing, and
Let's
we've
get
got
it.
an eagle
Let's
putt
go.
coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but that is well on the cards. Should be safely on deck.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Shouldn't be a problem here. What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Certainly throwing an eagle against the field too. We've seen it all. Birdies, eagles, just blitzing the field from start to finish.
Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 170 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
To win the Tiburon Championship. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
Emmanuel Nard wins Tiburon Championship. Emmanuel Nard won the Tiburon Championship on Sunday for his 90th PGA Tour title and 17th time this season. Nard finished with a final round 18 under 54 to close out the victory. To close out the victory, 17-18. Alright, CBC Naruto. Over and out.